Alright, so we got them two big jewies in the last video. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link up here somewhere. We got the head here, and not gonna give anything to waste. Gonna eat the wings and the cheeks and all the little bits of meat and stuff around here, and I'm gonna show you how to get the jaws out. First thing, get your oven tray, bit of alfoil on there, and I'm just gonna trim off the fins and stuff, just to make it a bit easier. That's pretty much it. So preheat the oven, line a tray with alfoil, wrap the head in alfoil, get a good coverage. Might take a couple layers. Alright, that's pretty coated now. Good coverage. I'm just going to go put that in the oven. I think I preheat it to about 220. Leave it in there for a couple of hours and just check back on it a couple of hours. So I just let it rest overnight there. So before you do it, when you're getting the bones out, you want to make sure it cools down. And a good way to check if you are getting it out while it's still hot, or you don't have time to just let it sit in the oven and stuff. If you once you pull the foil off, if the eyes are really like milky, that's normally when it's done. So I've only done one Jew jaw before and done a few snapper jaw as well, so it's pretty much the same sort of bones you're looking for anyway. But I'll pull this off and give you a look. And that's it. That's what I mean with the eye, how it's really milky like that. But yeah, you can see there's heaps of meat on this. We got so much meat off the fish, and after cooking dinner and all that last night, cooking the rest of the fish up, I just couldn't even be stuffed touching this. So I'm gonna give most of this to the cats. Other times when we don't, you get the head out when it's still warm, we'll eat all this meat and stuff. I'm just gonna get the jaws. So I think there's 6 pieces that you're really looking for to make the jaw up. That's one of them. But a lot of the teeth have fallen out, which is a shame. That's another one. That slots in there. So there's 2. It really is best to do this while it's still warm, because it's just easier to get all the flesh off. Normally when you do it, like nothing goes to waste. And there's your top 2 pieces. So there's the pieces you need. The bottom jaw, and the piece that fits into that, both sides. So there's really 4 pieces there. That's the bottom jaw, the top jaw, both sides. So that's 5 and 6. And then the 2 bones that sit above the top jaw there. So there's 8 pieces all up. Get all them out and do whatever you want with that. I'm going to give most of that to the cats, but you can eat that if it's warm and fresh, and it's really nice. So now just got to give these a good clean up. A lot of the teeth have fallen out, which sucks. When you're cleaning it, just try and get as much flesh and any bits that could like create any bacteria or anything. Get all the skin off, bits of cartilage. Make sure you get into like all them any little nooks, every little bit you can get. Be careful around the teeth, they're very vulnerable and can fall out easy. You can already see it's like how white it's starting to come up. The scissors are a good tool if you've got like a toothpick or something as well. Just something that can help you scrape all that organic matter off. Pretty happy with that piece. Maybe if you did it a little bit less in the oven too, like maybe if you just did it for like an hour and a half and then checked it, you might be able to retain a few more of the teeth. I just put it on and sort of set and forget, and had a lot of other stuff to do last night, so may have put it on a bit too long. An hour and a half, and then check if it looks nice and soft and that you can get the bones falling out easy. If not, go another half an hour. Down in there's another spot where they can get a bit of cartilage and shit gets trapped down in there. Try and make sure that's all clean. Try and get in them holes where the teeth fell out. That's where it's good to get a toothpick or something. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. So next step, go to the chemist, get some hydrogen peroxide.
Fucking stinks in here.
That's the 6%. I'd prefer to get the 6 over the 3. Just, it's not really going to do any damage or anything. Get all your pieces. dump them in a container, and now just fill it up with peroxide, just so the bones are all covered. About half a bottle or something. That's good, and then just let that sit for like a day or two. Put the lid on, and then I'll come back to it. Alright, so I've washed off my 6 pieces. And you just want to give them a dry with some paper towel or toilet paper. Make sure they're nice and dry. The first jaw that we did of a Jew that was Shay's, all the teeth are still intact and stuff, but because I was so tired that day, I just put the head in the oven and put the timer on and just come back and checked it the next day, and I'd left it in there too long, so it made all the teeth really brittle and they'd all come out. So if you are doing it, I'd say probably put the timer on for about an hour and a half and just check it and make sure that you're not overdoing it, because it looks awesome with all the teeth in there. This is the first snapper jaw I ever did. So the next thing you need to do is get some super glue and then just piece the bits together. It's pretty easy, so I'll show you. First you have, that's the left hand side of the lower jaw, and you can see how it has the hole in the back there, and you've just got to get these pieces, they slot in, so you just got to make sure you got the right side. That's the right one there. And now get your glue and just coat it up, all this, as much surface area as you can get that's going to be touching, and then slide it in. And with them bits you can just let them sit and dry. That was the left side of the bottom jaw, and now we've got the right side. Slots in like that. Once again, glue and slide it in. And you can just let them bits sit and dry. The top jaw's a bit harder. You just gotta figure out how it goes. Sort of forgot a bit. That's it there. That's how the top jaw goes. So you've got a bit of surface area here on this part, and then you've also got a nice good bit of surface area here that you can apply glue to. Get it all around the front there, and up in the back in there you can squirt a bit down in there, just hold it until it sticks. And then the last 2 bits, squirt it all around where it's going to join. And you can just hold it together, squirting in them joins until it sticks. That's pretty good. So I'll let them sit and dry for a couple minutes and then put it all together. So the next bit, you want to get your bottom and top jaw off the same side. This is the right side. And it's got a nice bit of surface area on the inside there, and that's how it fits together, and that's one side of the jaw. So you want to get all of this inside bit here coated up with glue, and where you're going to stick it on the other side, line them up first and then come on this inside, and I'm just squirting some glue down in the gap there, and it should sort of run down through, and then you can come on the other side and go in the gap there and just hold that there. Apply a bit more glue to some of the joins in there and just hold that together until it all dries. So you can sit that down and then go with the other side and line it up so the jaws match or are the same length, and squirt some glue down on the inside there. Get as much coverage as you can. Hold that there for a minute or two, just till it starts to take, and that's already starting to hold. Don't leave too much glue on the floor, your missus will be at ya. Press against it and push it in so it really takes. I'll leave them to set for a minute or two and then fit them together. So that looks pretty good now, but now this is the hard bit, because you just don't have much surface area to work with. And if I normally when you're doing it, if you don't leave it for as long as I did in the oven and make the bones really brittle, you can keep the bottom jaw actually intact. So the two pieces of the bottom jaw don't split. I'm just going to try and piece that bottom jaw together. Just holding it and then just dribbling glue over the join. That is just holding each piece in place. And I can double glue over the top. And that first glue I was using was a really thin glue. It's probably better, especially for these bits, a bit of a thicker glue that can add a bit more, like it grabs a bit easier. That's starting to hold. Go on both sides. Get a nice coverage. And that's looking good in there now. Once you're happy with how that is, you just want to dabble a little bit of glue over these top pieces just to hold that together at the top. You're never going to get it fully symmetrical because you're missing bits of cartilage and stuff in there, so just get it as best you can, let it take, and then that's pretty much finished. And just hold it in place until it's dry, and that's pretty much it. Once that's dry, you're done. Alright, well that's been sitting for half an hour or so now, and it's finished. A little bit of like dried glue there, but sort of need that to like fill in as the cartilage that would have been there that holds it together. Nice and white, all that organic stuff's gone, and look at all them holes. That's where all the teeth were. Can you imagine if I had the teeth all in that? You can see the difference. This one was done in 6% hydroperoxide and these ones were done in 3, I think. And look at the difference. Obviously that'll probably get a bit of colour to it as it ages a bit. That one's a couple of years old now. And that's it. That's how you do the jaws of a jewfish.